So we're all here. So let's introduce you to everyone. He's extending his hand.
Nice to meet you.
This is lovely Devon. My work is very much about people. It's about who I bring into a space and how they take up space together. I often bring people together with very, very different lived experiences. The process for me and how we meet as human beings is like as important as what will be seen. I want people to have a voice in the space. I want people to be seen in the space. I want people to be heard in the space. So I'm going to invite you all to tell us something you love. So it could be something you do, it could be something you smell, you feel, you taste. So, Leo.
I'm Leo Dixon, and I'm a first soloist with the Royal Ballet Company. I love the fact that my job allows me to use my body every day. I feel like that's a real privilege. It's just something I'm so grateful for.
Hi everyone, my name is Devon Healey and I'm thrilled to be here. I am an assistant professor of disability studies at the University of Toronto, and I've loved getting to know and explore disability.
I'm Nate. I'm here to support Devon, scribing what's being said, writing things down, and I love just sitting in the room, watching it happen, being a part of it, and watching everybody do what they do, coming up with these brilliant ideas.
Having Devon as part of the project has made me fundamentally think quite differently about even my starting point for making, because as a choreographer, one thinks about a physical manifestation, and in this project, through working with Devon and through conversations with Takashi, this piece is becoming more and more about touch and response to touch.
Hello, my name is Takashi, and I'm a viola player. First of all, I love music. I love making music and I love hearing music. And secondly, I love long walks. Even though I'm born blind, I really like seeing the world through any other senses.
I've been working with him for about 6 weeks now, and we spend as much time moving as we do talking about his experience of being a blind person. You're really brave, Takashi, and I really like that.
Oh, that's good.
And do you remember when you were talking about going down that street and you didn't know whether you were going to get lost, and you knew where you were because of the feeling of the sun on your skin?
Yes. As I said, I love walking, and one day I was lost and I allowed myself to be lost. I just thought, thinking about the time, like 2:30 in the afternoon, the sun must be shining from the west, and I felt the heat, and I thought, well, from this street I keep heading towards the west. I could perhaps go out to the main street, which I am quite familiar with. It took more than half an hour instead of 10 minutes, but I made it, and I thought what I've done was not bad.
That really stuck with me, that story. So I want to take the image of the feeling of the sun on our different surfaces and the feeling of touch on each other as we develop the work. So you and Leo, I'm going to invite you to walk together, and for me what's really important is that I want Leo to lead sometimes and I want you to lead sometimes.
Yeah.
Okay?
The exciting thing about this process is that blindness is really being engaged as the lead in this exploration, and I've been there as the blind artist alongside them to kind of draw on their rapport building and creating a narrative and poetic description of their exploration. Takashi, what part of your body do you find that you lead with when you move?
I feel the air and I feel sound, and I feel a lot of things through my foot.
Normally what happens is somebody else leads Takashi through the space. And I really want to shift that dynamic around. This really made me think about who is leading in this work.
I think blindness offers us a new engagement with the world and the body, and Takashi is bringing a new pathway into the body that opens up different movements and expressions. And I think that what Takashi is really inviting them to do is to feel their bodies in movement, to feel the world around them.
As dancers, we are trained to touch, not really feel the touch, and then off we go. And this is something that Takashi is really bringing into the work. How he navigates a lot of the world is through touch. So I'm really bringing attention to where that touch is, what that touch feels like. So there's really a time to really recognize that before we move into space. So what we would normally do is we'd go like this, you'd move, touch, we'd move, we wouldn't acknowledge it. So what I'm asking, what I think is great about this is it gives you the time to really acknowledge what that feels like. And then you make a choice whether you want to move towards it or away from it.
So typically when we think of dance, we tend to think of it as a visual experience. And so then when we think of access, questions typically come at the end of that process of questions of, well, how can we include blind audience members into this visual feast? That approach tends to place blindness in the position of lack, as needing to be filled in on what sighted creators, sighted dancers are expressing.
I'm feeling the link between my arm and Leo's hand, which is gentle but certain.
So at first, I listen. I listen to how movement is being described, how the dancers talk with each other, how the choreographer begins to share their imaginary of the story that they hope to convey through movement. And then as we begin to build and explore movement, I like to ask questions. It's almost this kind of slow dramaturgical interview that's happening.
This is beautiful. You both, one thing that Bim and I were saying and I wrote down was an adventurous strength and grace. You both are communicating. I wonder now if you could maybe articulate a little bit of the feel of this movement.
Okay.
I begin to write. I try to capture some language, and Nate's in the room with me, and if there's particular words, I'll call them out. Hey, grab, this inverted hurricane. So that then when I go back and I write and kind of think of the day, I'm able to draw on everyone's experience, but then also having blindness as my guide in how I put it together.
Takashi's hand feels slightly cooler than my body.
And so my hope with immersive descriptive audio is to feel that presence of blindness and listen and allow blindness to open up new pathways into dance, into what it means to tell a story. So of course the marvel of the visual is always there, but that unseen story that's happening, that kind of felt relationship between and among the dancers that often goes unspoken. I think blindness helps us access dance in a deeper way.
Should we get started?
Let's do it.
Yeah. Do you want to say what we've got so far? And then if I like something or if I'm going to pull it, then I'll just say, can you copy that and maybe put it on a different document?
Great.
Great.
The architecture of touch changes the feel of the relationship. Points of pressure conduct how we lead and listen.
I like that. I like the architecture of touch, especially because Bim said she really likes to think through geometry.
Is it like architecture of ...
Touch. Yeah, because I'm imagining it's like the building into the touch.
Gotcha. Okay, Ken?
Yeah.
Architecture of touch. Points of pressure conduct.
And in there, let's pick that up. Points of pressure conduct. So maybe that's like a little bit of that spark to try to kind of draw on what Leo is expressing of like suddenly that need to like move, but no,
listen.
Inclusive work to me does not just mean working with a Royal Ballet dancer, and in this case, a blind artist. So now, what is behind us? Inclusive practice for me is including everybody who is in that space as an individual.
Beautiful.
So I wouldn't want to rush, because for people to be seen and heard, it takes time. And if I don't take time for Leo and Takashi to really find each other, trust each other, then the work will have no substance. And I want to make work of substance.
Bim is very encouraging person. So, of course, she gives me a lot of challenge, but she doesn't expect me to do everything at once. And she also wants to learn some ideas from us. Regardless, we are professional or non-experienced dancers.
My hope is that through this work, I'm disturbing that understanding of blindness as nothingness, because blindness is so much more than what we have imagined it to be. And my hope is that audience members leave with a newfound intrigue with blindness, a newfound way of seeing the world.
It is great if we could share the beauty of feeling the ability together with the audience, rather than focusing on disability. Because regardless we have a disability or not, we have to dream and we have to hope, and then we have to share our progress and achievements. So why don't we focus on the possibility and ability?
I'm quite a political artist, is the truth. I want my work to mirror what I would like to contribute to the world. And what I would like to contribute to the world before I'm dead is that I make people feel seen every day.
I really like feeling the nature through the water, through the air.
I think the more we can share space together and be curious and ask questions and be humble enough to learn from each other, quite frankly, I think the world would be a better place. I really want to bring you as a human being into the space. That includes all of you.
I don't normally do the speaking, so anyway.
And what I do as an artist is I create work where who is leading is explored. Yeah, and I want you to feel like you've got sunshine. Like how we can learn from each other is explored. How we can all have a voice and be valued within this frame. And for me to make work where a blind person is leading a ballet dancer and a ballet dancer is leading a blind person, and that is like an ideal, I guess. I think I'm a little bit of an idealist, but if I can create an image that can represent a world where we can live in curiosity and compassion, then I want to do that for the rest of my life.